Hi everyone, my name is Jessica McGrail and this is my case study called Parental Apathy. And I put this on here because apathy is not an option when it comes to involving our parents in our school community. Category 1, problem identification and analysis. What I know is that Mrs. Rose is a new assistant principal and recognizes that there's a need for parent involvement at her school. The principal is hesitant to form a PTO and PTA, only an advisory committee. Currently, there's little to no parental involvement, and the initial try to involve parents has a minimal attendance of 8 parents. What I need to know is, why is the principal so against forming a PTA or PTO? How has the school tried to involve parents in the past? What experiences has the principal had that made him have the opinion that the community doesn't want to be involved, or he feels that way? Why is that? Was the only announcement of the meeting the one that was expressed over the intercom to bring home to parents? Is there a reason parents are absent from school? Is it because of their work commitments, bad experiences, transportation problems? These are just to name a few. So what is the problem? Well, the biggest thing is the limited parent involvement. The second is hesitation for the principal to involve the community. We really need him, the leader, to want to involve more of our family members. And then the lack of communication between the school and community. Also may not be the right communication for parents for this community, so we need to identify that. So category 2, my plan of action. So step 1, I want to continue the scheduled meeting that had 8 parents show up. Canceling this meeting will only continue that separation of the school and community. And with the people there, I can build momentum, have word of mouth, and success with that small group. And while they're there, I can have the parents speak to why there's low attendance and to their experiences in the past, and identify some other communication methods that may be more effective for them. Step 2, I want to meet with the principal and discuss the parent meeting and his thoughts about what happened. And then I would like to create a plan of action that will increase parent involvement from the feedback that was given at that meeting. And that plan of action should involve parents and teachers in creating the plan. Step 3, start the process of repairing that parental community relation and communication. So we can start with this by having staff and students have staff meet students and parents outside at pickup and drop off. That is a great way to have FaceTime and to have a quick interaction between each other and really build a relationship that way. I would also like to send out a survey to find out important information, such as, how do parents prefer their communication? What is the best time of day to have events? That way we can get more parents in the door. And what type of events would they likely attend? What would be interesting for them? Step 4, the biggest thing is I want to reinforce any involvement from the principal and staff members. So this could be doing shout outs over the intercom and at staff meetings, thanking them for attending and voicing their opinions, sending out group emails, anything that's going to reinforce a behavior that will increase it in the future. I want to make sure that I'm modeling that behavior. Category 3, resolve the issues. So my decision based on what is best for students. So collaborating with parents will improve student success time and time again. That we can have improved attendance. They can focus on the importance of academics and what that can do for your future success after school. Having a leader that staff and students and parents look up to and feel confident in. And lastly, supporting teachers in taking initiative to include parents and community stakeholders, whether that's just meeting them outside, emailing them, giving them a phone call, inviting them to class parties, etc. Category 4, reflection. So my thoughts, feelings, and values relating to this problem. First of all, we need to look at all angles of the problem to identify the breakdown. We may be missing something, is my initial thought, just from the limited information that I know. So I really think that we need to almost do an investigation of, like, why are we at this point? I'm also frustrated with the principal. He seems very dismissive of something that seems so rudimentary. I'm very surprised that he is so against having a PTA or PTO, and I really would like to get down to the bottom of why that is. In my history, the best experiences and successes I have had with students was when I was working very closely with their parents. Consistency and fidelity is vital to students' success, whether they're a general education student or a special education student. Consistency and fidelity across the board is very important. Unresolved issues. So how are the teachers feeling about the parent involvement? Does it impact their classroom? That's something that really interests me, is saying, is it something that we just want, or is it really impacting us? How do teachers feel about the leadership within the building? Do they feel supported? What can the principal do, or what could Miss Rose do in order to support them more? Of the parents that showed up, what was their reasoning for coming? Do they want change, or do they want an open forum to express frustration or what they like? And lastly, what has been tried in the past to involve parents and the community? Was there any successes? If they did try, what failures happened, and where was that breakdown happening? So category 5, standard 7, an educational leader promotes the academic success and well-being of every student by promoting communities of engagement for families and other stakeholders in the school's community. Component 1, as an educational leader, I would promote the academic success of every student in this case study by inspiring, motivating the teachers to reach out and involve the parents of their classroom. That's step 1. You gotta reach out. Someone has to start the path. Collaborating with students to ensure student success. We know when there's a home to school connection, we have more success. Getting the principal on board to reinforce his staff in this difficult process. So more often than not, when we have a leader that reinforces us in our behavior, we're more likely to want to do it in the future. And if we feel supported, we are feeling like we're doing the right thing. And so we definitely want to make sure that we're reinforcing that. Component 2, so as an educational leader, I'd promote the personal well-being of every student in this case study by following through with the meeting and identifying the needs to improve the community relations, creating a plan of action that involves the principal, teachers, and parents. It's very important that everyone has a say in what is happening in our plan. And identifying when and what parents will be willing to be involved in. So that goes to as we are creating the plan, we need to be specific and identify areas that are overarching for everyone involved. And component 3, as an educational leader, I promote communities of engagement for families and other stakeholders of every student in this case study by identifying proper community communication modalities that meet the needs of the community. I think that might have been the initial breakdown, is that there was an announcement said over the intercom, and the students were expected to take it home. I mean, the students, there's a lot that happens from that announcement to getting home. You never know if they forget or something happened, that their night was thrown off. So we really need to identify how can we directly address our parents. Encouraging the participation of the 8 parents that showed up to the meeting. So of those 8 parents, there's something that brought them there that night, and we can use that to build momentum and bring other parents in. Lastly, strengthen the involvement of the principal in this process. That's the most important piece, is that if our leader's on board, then we're going to have our teachers and parents want to get on board as well. And that is the end of my case study. Thank you for listening.